Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As Indians, we always tend to spend a lot of time in the kitchen because our cooking style is really an elaborate and of course very tasty one, right? But in today's episode, let us check out how to make cooking quicker. And I'm sure with these tips, you will be able to reduce your cooking time and it will save you a lot of precious time for other activities. So let's get started. Step 1. Plan your meal. By planning your meal, I mean write down a timetable. So as kids, we all had school timetable, right? Monday, this, classes, Tuesday, this. Similarly, draw a table, right? And write down for Monday, or at least make it Monday to Friday. If not on weekends, at least make it for the weekday. And write down what you want to make for breakfast, what's for lunch and what's for dinner. Maybe also what's for snacks. And if here in your family, people are complaining like, okay, why are you making this? Why did you cook this? I don't like this. If you think in your family people will sit on the dining table and give you these complaints, then please involve them also in the planning. I would suggest making this planning as a routine. Maybe you can plan it on Friday evenings or Saturday mornings so that over the weekend you can make a pre-preparation of the staples and you can buy the groceries necessary and all that. So that is step 1, writing down a timetable. I will make another episode exclusively on a detailed timetable to just give you some ideas which you may be able to adapt for your family. The second step is actually to make sure that you are cooking only one time a day. So it's about cooking and storing and then heating and reusing. But if your family says, oh no, we can't accept this, we need hot meals made all 3 times, then please talk to them about it. See, this was possible maybe for the previous generations, but right now I don't think it is fair to expect a woman to be in the kitchen 3 times a day, every time for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and spending around 4 to 5 hours every day only in the kitchen. I don't think it is a fair expectation. But what you can do is cook in bulk, and when you are cooking, maybe take one time of the day. I generally prefer cooking at night because in the morning if I go into the kitchen, I will be completely drained out and that would kill my productivity in the office. So I generally cook at night and then I store it in the refrigerator, and even if I have to carry it to office, I carry the cold food to office and directly I will be heating it up at work. So maybe work out something that works for your family and make sure that you plan all the cooking in one time slot and don't spread it throughout the day, then you will never be able to come out of the kitchen. Another thing is to understand about the Indian cuisine and about your cooking style. So let's say what are the common things that we have, and we call the staples. So my mom, she generally makes a staple out of onion and tomato. So if you are making a North Indian gravy, this is the basic, right? So there is onion, there is tomato, and there is ginger garlic paste, and then you saute everything, the standard masalas. So what she does is she makes this always as a standard gravy, and then this can be stored even in the refrigerator. A cousin of mine, he takes this gravy to his college and he deep freezes it and uses it even up to 3 months. So if you have this gravy, then you can simply boil any vegetable or you can boil some kind of dal and add it to the gravy, and quickly you will have a masala ready. The other staples that you can use are caramelized onion, caramelized tomatoes. So I use the Oppo's method for cooking. I love that method. It's a very time-saving method. Maybe you can Google about it. And even if you don't want to use the Oppo's method, even in the other types of cooking, you can prepare your staples. So onion, tomatoes, all this you can caramelize and store it in the refrigerator, because every time chopping onions and tomatoes, that itself takes away a lot of time. So take 1 kg of onions, prepare it, and you can use it for 1 week or even 1.5 weeks depending upon the size of your family. And ginger garlic paste can be made in advance. And I also personally like roasting peanuts and roasting cashew nuts, because mostly I use a lot of peanuts in my salads and I love roasted peanuts. So I roast peanuts and store it in bulk, and cashew nuts, and I also powder cashew nuts and store it because mostly I'll be using it on gravies. So I also powder cashew nuts and store it. Another staple that you can have is chutney. So I know many people, they make a dry coconut chutney. So without too much water, they make it as a very thick thick paste, and then they will be deep freezing it, and every time they make idli or dosa over the week, they take a little portion and then they make chutney. Another of my favorite is tomato garlic chutney. So this also is like using caramelized tomatoes and garlic, so it stays over a week if you have it in the refrigerator. So these chutneys I will always be making in bulk over the weekend, and I'll be storing it in the refrigerator, because over the week, even when I have to eat dosa or idli, I don't have much choices, then I'll have 2 chutneys, so that's a double bonus for me on a working day. So that's what I do. And then the last thing is to also make tadkas and store it in advance. So you might be making the South Indian tadka or the North Indian one, maybe bake both, or if you have multiple options, make multiple ones, and then you can store it. So this is also something that I learned from the Oppo style of cooking. Maybe you can look into it, or even if you think you can make your tadka in a normal pan and you can store it, that is also something that you can try out. So first of all, keep all these staples in handy. If you keep these staples in handy, then it is much easier for you to actually do your real cooking, because most of the time it goes in chopping onions, cleaning up, cutting up tomatoes and all that. So maybe these things you can avoid. And also you can cut and store vegetables in advance, maybe for a week. I generally don't do that, but I know a lot of my friends who do that. They chop veggies and store it, so that you're saving that time also. So if you plan, the first step, as I told you, having your timetable, so that you clearly know what you're going to cook over the week, and then you'll be able to easily organize these kind of staples, and then that makes life very, very simple. The last and my most favorite tip is to have a lazy list. So I also write this down. Okay, so my lazy list generally has more curry, it has semia, noodles, pasta, and those kind of things, because some days you're so drained out at work that you don't even want to enter the kitchen and cook anything. So those days I don't even want to strain my brain to think, okay, what can I make quickly? Sometimes I don't even have the strength to do that, and then what I do, I refer to my lazy list. So this lazy list is what I said, semia, pasta, noodles, and all that. So these things I just go look into my lazy list, and okay, something is there, dinner is sorted. So this is what I do. So the key is planning, and the key is to make sure that cooking can be done in a smart way. See, this is not about whether you're a working woman or you're a homemaker. Even if you're a homemaker, that doesn't mean that if you don't like it, of course, if you are a person who loves being in the kitchen, who thinks that you want to make out lovely dishes for your family, then this does not apply to you. But even if you're a homemaker, it is not fair for your family to place an expectation on you that you must stay in the kitchen for 5 hours, 6 hours a day. It is not fair for anybody, right? There are so many other things that women can actually do, and of course men must be hands-on, but all that is a different topic. Well, then I hope these tips help you to plan your food and plan your cooking in a better way, and look into various cuisines, try to have new recipes, and when you prepare your timetable, involve your family so that your children are also involved in cooking, and I'm sure this will help you as a family to bind over food. Good luck, and hope your cooking sessions shorten up. Keep watching The Speaker Mama. This is the voice of an Indian mother.